for making my contribution and acknowledgement that he recognized and said that he'll work with speed to ensure that during his tenure, 2/3 gender rule is implemented. I want to rise categorically and say that number one, the 2/3 gender rule as women reps, this point I'm contributing on behalf of the 47 women representatives of this nation. We have a hard-working PS, and we acknowledge the work that she's doing. In the event of reshuffling, because the president has chosen the path of listening, let Madam PS Ann remain there. But I'm disappointed that it is the only ministry without the CS. I know the president is listening, and soon a woman CS nominee. That is the only ministry being run by a PS and a CS. We need action on that. Still on 2/3 gender rule, taking care of the interests of the women. In the financial cycle, Mr. President has chosen the path of listening. He promised the 47 women reps an additional of 1 billion. 1 billion had been given, and he promised the sanitary towels, which we received 940 in last financial year. This year, Mr. President, listen to the women representatives. We are told they are pending bills, and the sanitary parts have not been given a clear framework. We know and we appreciate Mr. President listened and removed the sanitary towels from the Ministry of Education to Ministry of Gender. The students will be soon opening schools. We want to receive our sanitary towels. So I know on 2/3 gender rule, taking care of the women's interest, Mr. President has listened to me. On the issue of gender-based violence, Mr. President said that he's very keen and appreciated the caucus that went and visited State House. I happen not to have been amongst them, but I know that they went there categorically to voice out the voice of the women. And on that day over the news, I saw the president said and pledged that he's giving 100 million. This 100 million, I believe, it is a good start, but not adequate, and neither meant for certain regions, but he should consider ensuring that all 47 women representatives and the deaths of the gender-based violence, whether they are bestowed at the police stations at the headquarters, we want clear engagement on this. We are calling upon Mr. President that this must happen. On his speech, I also established that the president is keen of SMEs. I want to say that on SMEs, digitalization is a key component of developing and advancing our nation. But Mr. President, we would want to say that the digital borrowing of WEF and youth economic empowerment funds is not making meaningful growth. And so let the ordinary method that was being used, and this fund, I know, this House can legislate and make it be bestowed under the women representatives, because they're the ones who take the course on affirmative action. Mr. President, Mr. President also acknowledged the issue of education. As a teacher, I cannot fail to acknowledge his concerns. I highly acknowledge his concern that universities in this country had come to their knees. I don't know what time it's going to take this country to bring them up so that quality of education in this country is not compromised. Twice we have seen the lecturers in the same year go on strike, an embarrassing situation. I want to believe that his concern of ensuring that adequate funding to our universities will occur so that we never see lecturers be on street. And we see the collective bargaining agreements adhered to. I'm also concerned on the competency.
You have half a minute.
Half a minute.
Proceed.
I'm concerned that grade 9, 8, and 7 are bestowed at the primary level. But you find that the Form 1 classrooms are going to be into waste. A concern that the Ministry of Education should check into, since policy agreements are there, which is stated. Categorically meaningful engagement. There is a monster at the Teacher Service Commission. The CEO at the Teachers Suffering Center, if I may call it. Never in the office, never listen to people. So I wonder when she's going to have meaningful engagement. And the teachers are suffering. Lack of promotion. We want Nancy Macharia categorically to stop leaving the PA to handle people when we go there. We want meaningful engagement in all sectors. There are some officers who engage meaningfully with the legislatures. This is for purposes of service delivery. There are some officers we have realized the askari manages you not to access those officers. The president said meaningful engagement. Meaningful engagement with the county government.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to add my voice to the presidential speech. And admitted that the country is not where he promised Kenyans it will be, but is also not where we started, which means he has realized some achievements. But Speaker, I want to confirm to the country that the pace of achieving those achievements is very slow, and Kenyans wish that it could improve the pace. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on the issue of national values and principles of governance. Honorable Speaker, I've read through the speech, and I just want to pick a few of them just to explain to us what is happening. Honorable Speaker, the issue of being inclusive as a national value is an issue which needs to be improved. Honorable Speaker, we can never have a country where, in terms of public appointments, we see skewness towards some regions. That cannot be fair for the country. The second item, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of equity. Honorable Speaker, we will continue saying it. The issue of equity in this country is an issue which is wanting, Honorable Speaker. This morning, Honorable Speaker, I was looking at the Kenya Gazette on the issues of administrative units, which have been approved by the Ministry of Interior. Honorable Speaker, you'll be surprised. Some areas which really demand and require these additional units are not getting. And those ones which hardly require them are getting. Honorable Speaker, I not have a country where some areas are getting favors and others are being left behind. So the issue of equity, Honorable Speaker, automatically requires some improvement. The issue of human rights, Speaker, as a governance issue, is also an issue which the country is not achieving the expected standards. Honorable Speaker, we have seen human rights of Kenyans being abused. And I think it's time, Honorable Speaker, when we talk about abductions, when we talk about people being shot, these are the issues which this country needs to improve. And we are saying the president is trying, as he did say in his statement, but I think there is room for improvement. And as Kenyans would want to see these areas being improved, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to come to the area of corruption. It's good that there was an admission, Honorable Speaker, that we need to face this animal court corruption face on, Honorable Speaker. And the issue of Adani was very encouraging, Honorable Speaker. When I heard the president mention Adani and the cancellation of the contracts, that was very good. But still, Honorable Speaker, we have said Adani has also been mentioned to be also in SHA. How I wish that the element in SHA could also be discontinued, Honorable Speaker. Let me comment briefly about the economy, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know economic issues are not simple. And there are basic principles of economics, Honorable Speaker, that when things happen, we expect other things to happen. Honorable Speaker, I want to give you an example. It was reported that interest rates are going down. Under normal circumstances, Honorable Speaker, when interest rates are going down, we expect credit to private sector to increase. Honorable Speaker, you'll be surprised if you look at the figures which have been recorded. Honorable Speaker, the statistics are saying otherwise, which means we need to question this reduction of interest rates, Honorable Speaker. The other matter, Honorable Speaker, is inflation. And I think Honorable Boone did say it well. I hear so many of my colleagues talking about inflation coming down. If you look at the range, Honorable Speaker, the range which Kenyans is targeting is between 5 plus 2.5, 5 minus 2.5, which means we are within the range. But what is very surprising, Honorable Speaker, is that despite the inflation coming down, Kenyans are complaining about the cost of living. And the way I look at it as an economist, Honorable Speaker, is that the reason why the prices are coming down is because we have suppressed demand, that people have no money to buy, and since demand surpasses supply, then prices come down. These are basic principles of economics, and you can't change them, Honorable Speaker. So even as inflation comes down, we need to look at what is happening out there, Honorable Speaker. The last one, Forex, Honorable Speaker. The foreign exchange, Honorable Speaker, from 169 to 129. Those are the statistics, Honorable Speaker. But the question is, Are we controlling this? Is it being controlled? We know we are under a flexible foreign exchange regime. But I suspect, Honorable Speaker, that these are not the market forces, Honorable Speaker. Even as we pride ourselves to our 4.8 months of reserves, Honorable Speaker, I ask myself, is this, these dollars, are they generated through exporting, or are these through the loans we are getting from IMF and the World Bank? And that these are the hard questions, Honorable Speaker. Unless they are answered, Honorable Speaker, we will be having what we call optics. And
The Honorable Wangwe, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to join my